Hello and welcome to the second in our series, our digital strategy series for Newry BID, and looking at how you can increase your online visibility with Google and obviously supported by Newry BID. My name is Deborah Loughran and I'm delighted to be working on this programme with the team in BID and helping you, the BID members, to try and improve your digital presence, particularly in this aspect in looking at Google My Business. So anybody that has been through our beginners module on this will have seen some of these slides before, because some of are going back over it a little bit. If you're just jumping in on the intermediate one, some of this may be new to you, or if you've already downloaded your profile, etc., you'll know the basics of how to work Google My Business. And I suppose what we're trying to do here today is to try and get people to put Google My Business to the forefront of their digital strategy, and making sure that it's up there and as relevant as what you're doing on your social media and your wider digital presence. So the first thing we're going to do is looking at how we can make the most of your Google My Business profile once you have set it up. So if you haven't set up a profile yet, please watch our beginner session, and this will talk you through how to do that. Then we're going to talk you through downloading the app so that you can treat the resource, quite similar to your social media in terms of how you review and utilize the data that it generates, because data is only useful if we have a reason for it and we know what to actually do with it or what we're trying to achieve from it. We'll also help you try to understand the insights and talk you through the things that you can do to continuously improve your profile. So some of the more advanced features is looking at how you produce 360-degree photographs, and to be perfectly honest with you, with regard to Google My Business, there's nothing particularly advanced, because it is a very, very easy platform to use. Anybody can do it, and I think just I suppose one of the fancy features on it is being able to produce the 360-degree photographs of your inside or outside your premises, which can be uploaded directly onto Google Maps through Street View, and Google Maps then connects on to your Google My Business. We'll also talk you through how the insights provided by Google My Business can shape your wider digital strategy, and how you can potentially then become a local guide. We'll talk about local guides just at the end. Unfortunately, businesses can't become them, but individuals who want to try and help promote an area can. So bear in mind that as a resource, Google My Business is constantly improving. So it's not something that you just do and sit and leave. It's digital, so it's constantly evolving, and just something that needs you to continue to work on it when you can. So why should I use Google My Business? So as we had mentioned in the beginner session, and also in the intermediate session that we had done online for some of the members, BID carried out a survey fairly recently, which found that 94% of people have access to a smartphone. Now, there's nothing particularly new in that. Most of us would probably know that. But the question is, what does that mean for your business? It means that in order to reach these potential customers, they should be able to find you online. So for example, if I come to Newry for the very first time and I'm standing in the street, and as you would if you go away anywhere, you may search cafe near me, restaurant near me, clothes shop near me, shoe shop near me, and you're looking for these services. And that's where you want to be profiled. So you want people to be able to find you even when they don't know your business name. And you can be found online without it costing you anything. Sometimes people think that, to feature highly on search engines and search rankings, you need to pay for it, and paid for advertising can help, especially in crowded markets, but there are ways of doing it organically, and Google My Business is one of those ways. You may say, people will sometimes say about Google My Business, I've enough to do. I've got social media, I've got my website, etc., etc. But one of the things that I think is very important to point out is that last year, Google had consistently maintained a 93% share of the search engine market in the UK. And that's according to Stats Counter. Now think about that. That is 93% of people who used a search engine to search to find anything utilized Google. And I think my computer's automatically link to Bing, or keeps throwing me back to Bing, and I'll bypass Bing and go to Google. And even the way we put that into colloquialisms, we look at Googling something. You don't talk about Binging something, you talk about Googling something, because they have 93% at least of the market share in the UK. So it makes sense that utilizing Google's own services will help you feature in their rankings and help you feature more prominently in those search engine searches. So again, this is something that I think is important. It's a little bit of background on it, but when you look at Google organic rankings and where Google hold stead in profiling a business in terms of where they rank them, there's three key things that they look for in organic rankings. And organic rankings are anything that you haven't paid for. So Google will look for proximity, they look for relevance, and they look for prominence. So proximity is the number one priority for Google. So this is literally, how close are you to the person who is searching? So the more accurate the information about your location, the more likely Google is to list you in the search rankings. So that's why it's very important for the likes of Google My Business to have your full business address in there. If you share premises with another unit and you're not clearly marked on the front of the unit, making sure that is clearly visible to people who are trying to find you. If the person doesn't specify a particular location in their search, Google will calculate distance based on what's known about their location. So say, for example, if somebody searches Cafe Newry, Google may assume that the person is already in Newry or near Newry, and will put forward a few suggestions based on that. So proximity is very, very important, and that's why you need to have what we're going to come on to later, the NAP, which is your name, address, and phone number, to be correct on your Google listing. Relevance. This is another point that is important. How well does your listing match what a person is searching for? I use the example of saying, if you're a hairdresser, say you're a hairdresser. Okay, you might be called a coiffing emporium, or something equally fancy like that. But that's not going to get you found in Google when somebody is searching for where can I get my haircut, or hairdressers near me. So we have to understand that that Google, while it is artificial intelligence, at its very best, it's not human. We need to help Google understand what you do so that they can match your profile to the relevant searches. The third point is prominence. And prominence relates to how popular your business is. So, we always look at, if a business is considered famous offline, it's likely to be fairly famous online as well. So famous, I suppose, is a funny term. It probably refers to how popular a business is, and that can be evident through the number of searches, what else Google can find out about a business across the web. So, is there up-to-date content on the website? Is there links to other sites? Is there articles about this business? So it's really how prominent you are online, and Google reviews and scores can also contribute to where you feature in the rankings. So if you have watched our beginner video, we used the Canal Court, obviously a well-known local hotel, as an example of profiling their Google My Business profile. And on that, at that time, they had 1,800 reviews, and they had, I think, a ranking of 4.4 out of 5. And that has real relevance in that, because 1,800 people have taken the time to write a review about that hotel. Those reviews are very high, and it has scored particularly well in that market, and this is going to contribute to a higher score than perhaps maybe a hotel nearby that only has 100 reviews and a score of 2. You can understand why that would have a higher score, because Google obviously wants to send you to the location that has the best match, and I suppose is the best quality outlet for what you're looking for. So the hotel with the 1,800 reviews and the high score is going to outweigh in terms of prominence the lesser hotel with lesser rankings. And that's why sometimes people would say it takes you quite a while to build up your profile online, because it takes that time to get that prominence listed with the likes of Google. So the first thing you need to do is to search online for your own business and see what it says. So you need to technically Google your own business. Now, this isn't something we do very often. You know, it's putting ourselves in the shoes of the customer and viewing our business objectively. So, you know, maybe occasionally we do a search for our own business just to maybe, you know, pull up the phone number fairly quickly or something to that effect. But it's not a very normal thing for us to step back, you know, and actually take the time to put ourselves in the shoes of our customers and to search in that capacity and to see, well, you know, if I was a customer, what would I be looking for? How would I find myself? So you should always, when you're doing this, do this in private mode, because otherwise it'll pick up cookies from previous times that you have searched for your own business, because you know, your phone and all your devices collect cookies, as you probably know, and what those cookies are is they're tracking data and keeping profiles alive and trying to create an intelligence in there that will drive you to things you like and the things that you regularly use. So if you're regularly, you know, going to your business or searching for your business, the chances are that it'll rank it quite highly in your search terms whenever you go to look for it. That actually mightn't be the reality for somebody who doesn't have those cookies stored on their computer. So by allowing us to do this, by doing this in private mode, it won't pick up the cookies from the previous time. Now, you may need to clear your cookies to allow you to do this, to get a proper, full, accurate view of it. But it's a good wee way of just looking at doing it in private mode, or what's called incognito. So as I said, this mode doesn't record your cookies, and it just gives you a fresh look at what potential customers might find if they search for your business. And as I say, you might need to clear your previous history or your cookies to give you an accurate picture. So how do you do that? So what you need to do is, first of all, you need to download Google Chrome. So make sure, I think I may have said before we started this program, that if you can have your phone or another device with you, that you can do some of this in real time and actually make this an interactive session, that would be great. So if you need to pause for a minute and go and get your device or your phone, or see some way that you can either download or access Google Chrome. And what you want to do is you want to click on right up in the top corner. I'm just going to move myself there. There will be either 3 dots, there'll be 3 dots or something that maybe says more on there. And when you click on that, it should allow you to open a new incognito window. And in the top left, when you do that, there should be an incognito icon. The screen should be slightly darker in color. So once you get to that, once you've clicked on new incognito window and you find that, now do a wee search for your business name and see what comes up. So for the purpose of this piece of work, we're interested in the panel at the right hand side here, the one that I've circled. I need to move myself again here. I mentioned earlier that in the beginner's guide, I searched for the well-known business, the Canal Court Hotel, and you can see we've already talked about the number of Google reviews that they have found. But every business should have one of these profiles. So whenever you search in your dark mode, incognito mode, and you search for your business, have a look at the profile that comes up there. What I would ask you to do at this stage as well is to search for your industry. So if you are a hotel, if you're a restaurant, if you're solicitors, if you want to search for maybe solicitors Newry or cafe Newry, whatever you are, you know, that will give you quite a good indication of how you rank against your competitors in that space, in your incognito mode. Because, you know, you could think, because when you search for your business, or even if you searched for cafe Newry without clearing your cookies, you could think that, my goodness, I'm top of the pops here, I'm top of the profile list all of the time. And that may not be the case when you actually search for it with a clean browsing history and cleared cookies. So, you know, also take the time to look and do that and see if you're happy with where you appear in that search, or whether you think you could actually do better. So when you get to your business listing, what does your profile look like? You know, at this stage, anybody on this element of the course should have access to their profile and should have downloaded it. If you don't have access to your profile, or if you've never seen this before, if you didn't know it existed, go back to our beginner's guide and have a look at it, and that'll show you how to get access to your profile. So what I wanted to look at is, you know, does it reflect your business? You know, I suppose, is it what you expect to see when you open that up? You know, because a lot of people pay, you know, really good attention to their social media or their Facebook or their LinkedIn profile, and you know, there's people that will take you through training on how to make your LinkedIn profile stand out, etc., etc. But you know, one of the first things that people can find in relation to your business is your Google My Business profile. So does it reflect your business? And if it doesn't, you need to change that. So once you've claimed your profile, as we've talked about how to do in the beginner session, you can start to edit your listing. And the most important thing to do is to check if the information shown is correct. I've mentioned before, I've seen inaccurate location photos, incorrect business opening hours, particularly now in light of COVID and, you know, in the hospitality sector with businesses closing at 11 p.m. You know, we can't assume that every person coming to your premises will actually know that. So it may be important to correct that on your Google My Business profile, and even mention if there is a last ordering time, or if there's something that's relevant to making sure that your premises complies with that obligation at this current time. And that can be, there's an opportunity to put special hours or additional hours, so you don't have to put that in the main part of your profile. So, you know, business profiles sometimes can have old branding, etc., etc. So, you know, this is a really, really easy way for your business to look sharp and appealing to Google, so that your customers can find you. So I think it's, you know, it's really worth giving it that little bit of time to get it right. So what can you add? You know, it's extremely important. If the first thing you need to think about is your NAP. So that's your name, address, and phone number. And that sounds like very, very basic, but you need to make sure that they are consistent across the web. And this is sometimes where people fall down. So if you look at, for example, this one that I have picked out, Dandelion Chocolate, and that is 740 in Valencia Street, San Francisco. So, I mean, for example, if on their website they have put 740 to 745 Valencia Street, and they've spelt out STREET, and they've got the Dandelion Chocolate Cafe, for example, that is making it really, really difficult for crawlers or bots which search the internet on behalf of organizations like Google to identify your business. So, you know, a very important thing to do is, first of all, to go and check across all of your profiles, all of your digital, I suppose your digital footprint, to make sure that your name, your address, and your phone number are common across those and are exactly the same across those, because inconsistent NAP, something as simple as, you know, an address being different on your website to your Google My Business, can lead to poor local search rankings, and that's not ideal for anybody. So, as I say there, even given a local example, you know, if you're called the Newry Cafe, 1 Main Street, Newry, on Google My Business, make sure, for example, it's not called TNC 1 to 5 Main Street, Newry on your website. So it sounds very simple, but that it's the sort of thing that can lead to poor local search rankings. So functionality, if you look down the right-hand side of your Google My Business profile, you can see all of the functionality. So when you open your profile up, you'll see you've got home, posts, info, insights, reviews, messages, photos, products, services, website, and users. So this includes, quite interestingly, the ability to generate a free website. Now, this is a really, really simple tool to use if you wanted to build a very basic magazine style website to increase your profile. You know, for example, if you are a cafe or a startup business, or maybe a beautician's or a nail bar or somewhere like that, that doesn't want to invest in a website or creating a website, you can create a very simple magazine style website here yourself. You can add menus, you can add special offers, etc., onto that. And, you know, if you would like help with exploring this tool further, you know, contact Newry BID and we'll try and help you out with that. If you contact Eamon or Nicole in the office, and we can help you with that. Now, what it will do is if you do create that website, and I think I've created a very simple one here, back to our Newry Cafe, basically create more, you know, we serve delicious snacks and drinks daily, opening at 9 a.m. tomorrow, because I put in a photograph and contact details and put a summary in there, and put in opening hours, and then below that have added some menus and some pictures of the food that we do. And for some people that is, you know, as much additional profile that you may need for the likes of a smaller business. Now, the only thing is it comes up as a Google URL, so the web address will come up as a Google generated site, but you're not likely to be sending this website details out to anybody or to customers, but it's just another little tool to help you feature more prominently on the Google search rankings. And as I say, if you would like any help with exploring that tool, please do let Eamon know in BID, and we will try and help you out. So what else can you do on your Google My Business profile? Well, you know, there's all the basic things that we had talked about there, about making sure that your opening hours are up to date, and your product and services, your offerings, etc., etc. But there's lots of other areas where you can add value. Where people use the Google My Business particularly well is where you add products with direct links to buy. So if you look here, you can add a product, you can add a photograph of the product, you can put the name in, you can create a category for that product, you can put in a price, a fixed price or a price range in there, you can put your description in there, and then you can also have the opportunity to order that online, and that will take you either to your, wherever you link that up to. So that could take you to your Shopify or your online shop, or it could take you to Facebook Marketplace, wherever you're actually selling your products directly from. And it's just another way of getting a quick click through directly to a purchase for a customer. You can add offers with the option to add a link to redeem the offer. So if you wanted to try a little campaign in terms of adding an offer on Google and looking at a way to redeem that, you know, you could put a special discount code on the link in the content management system of your website, if it maybe has that capability, or you could simply just post an offer on there that if you come into the shop and to show a screenshot of the Google My Business saying 10% off or something, that you qualify for a 10% off discount. And sometimes people will use that to gauge whether they can generate extra business through the likes of the Google My Business profile. So that then will allow you to obviously measure the performance of the offer through Google. But you know, I would say that in this age of instant sharing, you know, bear in mind that people may also share it on social media. So it could have traveled a bit further than all of your offers coming directly from Google. But if you're willing to honor an offer like that, or you want to put it on an offer to try or test the capability of the likes of Google My Business as a promotional tool, then it's definitely worth trying. You can also create your Google Ads through this. I suppose that's a whole other ball game. But and there's people who specialize in creating ads and search engine optimization and making sure that you have the right keywords in there. But what you should do is you should use your Google My Business Insights to help generate the correct keywords for your business. So making sure that you go to the insights and see what people are actually searching for in relation to your business. So if you're solicitors, are they searching for lawyers, solicitors, legal advice, you know, near me? Are they searching for solicitors Newry? Are they searching for, you know, I don't know, anything connected to your business, your service area that your customers might search for? It's worth looking at the insights to see how many people are coming to your business through that particular mechanism. You can add other locations if you have more than one outlet, and you can create a short name to share with people as a direct link to your Google My Business profile. So for example, you know, if you have a business location that is relatively hard to find it can be good to create that short name. So it could be at Newry BID, and you can send that URL directly to people, and that will bring up your Google My Business profile for them, and they can very easily search for you on maps through Google My Business and find out exactly where they are in relation to your business. In terms of adding other locations, somebody who was on the call a couple of weeks ago in relation to Google My Business was talking about this, and they had set up different Google My Business accounts for each of their businesses, and were finding it difficult to keep a track of the insights and what it was actually telling them. So it might do no harm if you have a couple of different outlets to keep them under the one Google My Business profile and add them as other locations, and then that allows you to analyze the insights all in one place, and it maybe just cuts down on a little bit of the administration work that you may have to do. The app, I would strongly encourage you to download the app to your phone. It's like anything. If you have instant access to something, you're more likely to use it. So if you have to go on to Google My Business on your desktop or your laptop, the chances are you're just not going to do it very often. So by downloading the app, it makes it feel a bit more like a social media app, and you're more inclined to use it. But what I would say is, treat it like your social media in terms of keeping it updated, but don't just randomly post on it, because it's not a social media outlet. So, include regular updates on Google My Business in your overall digital or social media strategy. So if you've got really strong photographs that you can add up there, if you've got particular offers or particular products that you want to promote, but it's just not every single thing that you might post on Facebook or LinkedIn may not be suitable for Google My Business. Because again, come back to this is customers at the very top of the sales funnel, so to speak, that are searching for your business, and they don't want to open Google My Business and it to look like your Facebook page. They want to find that information really quickly and really easily. The main home dashboard is fantastic, because it will also tell you how many people have viewed your profile, both on Google and also in Maps. So you can see how many views there was, how many searches. I get a wee bit nerdy with this because then you get obsessed with actually looking at it and analysing it and managing it and seeing, how did these people find you? Did they come directly by searching directly for your business name, or did they come via the mode that they call discovery, which is they were searching for a category or a product. So they were searching for Cafe Newry rather than the Newry Cafe, which would throw up lots more results. So it's, I think it's really, really important, if you're interested in search engine optimization and looking at how people are finding your business, it's really, really important to look at those insights and to see how people are discovering your business. Most people will be familiar with insights and data from their social media or from their website through their Google Analytics. It tells you how many likes and shares you've had your posts. But the data from the Google My Business profile, I believe, is more useful than any of these things, because it can tell you the most popular queries for your business by unique user. So you can see, as I said, how many people have found you by typing lawyer as opposed to solicitor if you're a law firm. The insights can also help you determine, as I say, what words that you should be using to help people to find your business. What's different about Google My Business Insights as well is the ability to drill down into these. So you can see where your traffic is coming from. You can see how many of these people actually phoned your premises, at what time of the day they did this, and also how you found this. So it's fascinating. So a lot of people don't realize that you can actually go in. You can find out, if you think about back to that profile that I'd shown you of the Canal Court, where the telephone number comes up. And if you're looking at that on your mobile phone and you hit call, which a lot of people do, a lot of people will just search for, they'll maybe not have the number of hotels or restaurants or takeaways saved in their phone, but they'll just search for them very quickly on Google. They'll click straight from the Google My Business profile to phone the outlet. And that is stored, and that data is stored in your Google My Business profile. So you can see exactly how many people phoned your premises and at what time. And one of the things that determined for somebody on a previous call with me was that, you know, the vast majority of their calls were coming through at around 5 o'clock in the evening. And that then posed the question back to them as well, do I have enough staff on answering the phones at that time in the evening? So, you know, all of these things and this data and this insights, you know, it has to be for a reason. So it has to shape your wider, be part of your wider digital strategy and making sure that it's added value for your business. So reviews, how you approach reviews should also be part of your overall strategy. And these are sometimes called social proof. So everybody likes to get reviews and testimonials of their work and of their service delivery. You know, one of the negatives about Google and reviews, and it's similar to social media, is, you know, if somebody, or, you know, more often than not, a bot leaves a negative or a 1-star review, and they've maybe never been to your premises or never had any dealings with your business, it's very, very hard to get rid of that particular review. You know, you can report it to Google, but often not a lot is done about them. And equally the same about, I'd said earlier about making sure that you had up-to-date photographs. We have an issue at the minute with a client where there's an old photograph that belongs to Google on their Google My Business profile, and we've reported it now sort of 4 to 5 times, and Google still hasn't removed it. So there's a real time lag in getting things corrected with Google, but it's definitely worth persevering to try and get rid of those things to make sure that your profile is up to date. And in relation to the, you know, a negative review that that you know very clearly is a bot or is somebody just meddling, you know, you can try and override that by having many more positive reviews and increasing the rankings in that way. If you're really confident, you can also set up a chat facility. So, you know, you can chat directly to customers via your Google My Business profile. The issue with this is, you know, there needs to be a time commitment to this. So, you know, you need to be committing that you're either going to answer those queries in real time, or that if somebody says, can I make a reservation online, that you come back to say, yes, but, you know, we will respond to you in the next 4 to 6, send us your phone number and we will respond to you in the next working day or in the next 24 hours, or, you know, in terms of having some sort of caveat in there, because I don't think anybody can commit to basically being a full-time chatbot on Google My Business, and neither would it be very constructive for your business to try to do that. So, you know, if you do set up the likes of the chat facility, be sure that it's part of your digital strategy as to how you're going to manage and I suppose place and facilitate it as the time goes on. So Moz, a reputable organisation that looks at social proof and monitoring social interactions, estimates that your Google My Business listing and your Google reviews can account for around 40% of the factors utilised to determine where you feature in those local rankings. So do you remember I talked about the relevance, the proximity and prominence? Well, Google My Business, your Google My Business listing being up to date and the reviews within that can account for approximately 40% of those factors that it is in terms of where you feature in the local rankings. So that's why a lot of people have started promoting their Google reviews and trying to push that and trying to get more people to leave reviews. Now, you do need to be confident that your customers are going to leave good reviews, because obviously you don't want your Google My Business flooded with poor reviews. But when and how you approach customers to leave reviews can be important. So, you know, you really don't want to be particularly pushy in relation to this, but some ideas might be, you know, having cards in your premises with a QR code or a QR code on your receipt, asking people to leave a review if they've had a good experience. Sometimes people do it as competition, that there's a prize, you know, every month for the people who leave reviews, etc. If you do it in email marketing, you could include it in this, or you can put a link on your social media. But again, as I said, please don't do these things randomly, because that can come across and reflect quite poorly on the business. So make sure you're doing it as part of an overall business or a digital strategy to make sure that it just doesn't end up attracting negative results. So if you have a reason why you're trying to drive reviews, then absolutely, you know, put a bit of effort into doing that and trying to get those positive reviews increased. Photos, we've talked a little bit about photos already, and according to Google, listings with photos receive 42% more requests for driving directions and 35% more clicks to their website. So, you know, having nice fresh photographs up there is very, very important. Obviously not these ones that look quite blurry on the screen here, but having relevant photographs, or if you've got product images, etc., you know, it's important to have the likes of that on your Google My Business so people can see a bit more about what you do. At the very least, you should have a profile photo, your logo, and a cover photo. And it's useful to make one of these the front of your premises if you can, so that it's recognizable when people arrive. If you're interested in an advanced, but as I said at the very start, not a very complex photography feature, you can try the 360-degree photos. Google now allows you to add these to your Google My Business Street View listing. So previously you had to go to a specialist, and I'll click through. There are some specialists who do 3D video. There's actually nobody in this area. The closest is probably in Lisburn. There's not very many here, but these are people who are certified by Google to take videos of your premises, 3D videos or 360 videos and photos of your premises. But now you can actually take the photographs yourself on your mobile phone. So when you search for a business on a mobile phone, the very first image that's displayed is often a 360-degree image, which is why it's useful to have one or more than one, because Google appears to be weighting these immersive images higher. And this allows a person to sort of move virtually around your location, inside or outside, depending on, you know, what a business has put on their profile or what a visitor has loaded to Google on their own. So you or a visitor to your premises can upload photos, 3D or 360 photo. I keep calling them 3D photos, but 360 photos to your Street View profile. As I said, there's people who specialize in this, but the vast majority of people now do it themselves through Street View. So you need to download the Google Street View app. So again, you might need to pause this and take a little bit of time to do that. Once you're on the Google Street View app, you go into private settings. So there'll be a list of options along the bottom, and one of those is private settings. And you will see the ability to create what's called a photo sphere. So when you're completing the photo sphere, what you do is you basically stand, if I take my phone, so you stand with your photograph like this, and on your screen it will show you these little orange dots here, and all you need to do is move yourself right around your space following the orange dots. And what that will do is that will take a 360-degree rotational photograph of where you are in relation to those orange dots. So you'll be basically standing in the middle of those orange dots. So before you do it, make sure that your space is clean and tidy, and right around that 360 area is the profile that you would like to show on your Street View. So when you're completing the photo in Street View, it asks if you want to send it to your business location. So with your phone GPS and the tour video, it should locate automatically and update this to the correct business for you. Now, sometimes this doesn't happen if your Street View and your Google Maps and your Google My Business aren't all linked up together. And it's like any sort of technology, it's great when it works, but it should at least update to Street View. And if you're having any problems with actually getting it to link back to your Google My Business profile, do let us know, and we'll try and help you to connect that. So it's just another really, really good tool for showing people around your premises and showing off what you actually have by using the 360 photographs. And I would thoroughly recommend it. And again, if you can get it to link up from your phone to Google Maps and through Street View to Google Maps and to your Google My Business profile, then that's all the better in terms of again using Google technology to try and increase your search engine rankings with Google. We are nearly there. As I said, these are some of the people. You can have a look at these people if you wanted to spend some money on, you know, a trusted pro to help deliver this for you. But as I say, you know, most people can get by on the basics of doing it themselves through Street View. So just a very quick run through that again is, you know, in terms of our local search engine optimization checklist to try and help you rank better with Google. Make sure you've added complete information to your Google My Business listing. Make sure you've verified your locations that people can easily find you. Keep your hours accurate and up to date, particularly at the current time when things are constantly changing and evolving and may change again, unfortunately. You know, look at how you are managing and responding to reviews. You know, is that adequate? Is there people, you know, posting reviews on there and you're not responding to them, positive or negative? You know, make sure that you have a proper strategy and approach to doing that. You can add our high quality photos or your 360 photos, and then, you know, pay attention to the search terms being used to find your business on Insights so that you can make sure it's an accurate reflection of where you are with the business, and also paying attention to those insights and seeing how you can use them to shape your business strategy going forward. Finally, another way in which we want to grow Newry's overall online presence with Google is by encouraging local guides. Local guides get mixed reviews because they contribute to content on business listings like yours to help potential customers decide where to go and what to do. So, you know, they're basically people who are part of a global community who write reviews, share photos, answer questions, add and edit places, and fact check stuff on Google Maps. As I said at the start, they have to be individuals, they can't be businesses. And as I say, you know, there's positive and negatives to this program because as any individual can be, you know, the local guide can be biased. But if you're interested in finding out a wee bit more about how to do this, we would love to have a few local guides around Newry who contribute positively. There's already people who do it, but as a local guide for Google, that can contribute positively to encourage people to utilize the services and the businesses that we have here in our city centre and beyond. One other thing that we're looking at trying to do as part of this programme was a follow-up is to work with the Department of Infrastructure and people who own car parks within Newry City Centre and make sure that they all are listed in some way on Google and that there's more information than there currently is available on those. Because I think, you know, when I did an incognito search for car parking in Newry, the first one that came up was the car park up at the ambulance station at the hospital. And obviously that's not very helpful to any visitor coming in, because, you know, that's not going to give people, you know, a very good first impression of Newry if they're way up beyond the hospital and trying to get down into the city centre, thinking that is, you know, a city centre car park. So there's a bit of work to be done there. Unfortunately, it takes, you know, a few different agencies and organisations to work together on that and to figure out who owns what car parks and what information that we can put on those. But it's definitely something that we want to try and do going forward. So hopefully that has given you a good sense of what we're trying to do in terms of Google My Business. We just want to try to get as many businesses in Newry, I suppose, with up-to-date profiles, utilising Google My Business, utilising the reviews, you know, putting, you know, clear and accurate information up there so that when visitors come into our city centre, and, you know, and when we get further through this COVID crisis and hopefully start coming out the other side of it, we're going to need visitors more than ever, and we want to give them a real coherent view of what is available in the city centre. And Google My Business to me is one of the very best ways to do that. Unfortunately, I can't take questions because it's not a live session on this one, but if you do have any questions, please do feed them into the BID office. You can send them to admin@newry.com. and the guys can send them across to me. Or if you do want any help or any one-to-one help with getting a little bit further with your Google My Business profile, please do let us know. And hopefully you find that useful. Thank you very much. And hopefully we'll have more of these digital sessions going forward. Thank you.